What's up, everyone? Joe with ECRM here at our beauty sessions in Tucson, Arizona. And with me is Paul Udell from Diamond Cosmetics, who's been coming to our sessions forever. And what we're going to talk about today is the value of coming back again and again and again. Even if you have a ton of customers, you saturated the market like they did already, but there's a lot of value relationship-wise. So Paul, thanks a lot for joining us. And to get started, give everybody a little background about you, the company, and your history with ECRM Sessions.
Okay. I might be dating myself a little bit, but this is about my 40th year in the industry. It's something I've done pretty much since I walked out of college. ECRM has been a big part of my life and my successes over the last 24 years. I can't even begin to tell you how many sessions I've been in attendance at, and the relationships with the people that sponsor the ECRM shows, as well as the buyers and everybody. They've become lasting, long-time relationships. So we get a lot of value out of the shows. We keep coming back because we're well-established. We're actually the #1 supplier of nail files in the United States, but it's all about relationships for us with our customers. A lot of new buyers now, so we want to keep them up to speed in terms of our products and developments. But for us, it's just continuing to maintain and build new relationships to transition into new business.
I think you bring up a really important point because, like you mentioned, you come back, and for those buyers that have been on the desk for a while, you're just deepening those relationships, looking for more and more things to do together. But also, just by the nature of the business, they're always switching desks at some retailers. So you need to be coming to interface with them and learn who the new ones are, and develop those new relationships.
Absolutely. To support what you're saying, I mean, we could be calling on a buyer today at a national chain that's buying beauty products, and 6 months from now they can be buying towels and sheets. Mm-hmm. So there's always, constant turnover. A lot of the younger folks that are getting into the industry, into the buying capacities, really rely on us a lot in terms of product recommendations and things that we would suggest for their assortments. And we really, put a lot of effort into giving them the best quality products at a fair price. And what I say at every ECRM session is the best thing about us is we deliver orders on time and complete.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And now over the years, you've had a lot of customer wins. You don't have to name any retailers, but you talk about the types of wins that you've had and what's resulted from those.
I mean, you can look at a price of a nail file, which is basically a 50-cent cost to the retailer. We've got to sell a lot of nail files to generate a lot of revenues. So, we're blessed in that we sell the biggest retailers in America, and every day that we get a purchase order from them, it's a win. And I've always believed that it's just a numbers game. As long as you win more than you lose, you're going to stay ahead of the game. And we've developed deep relationships with the retailers, and they look out for our welfare because we equally look out for theirs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So now, when we talk about consistency, right, coming year after year, coming twice a year or more sometimes, how do those relationships develop when you're meeting with a buyer regularly, people that you've seen before? What are those conversations like? How are you looking to grow your relationship with them as you come back?
If nothing else, we just want to continue to be, in front of the customer, and, maybe spend out of the 20 minutes, 15 minutes talking about maybe some new products and developments, and then 5 minutes just talking about their kids, their grandkids, what's going on in the areas that they live. And it's become a personal relationship with so many of the customers. And, that's what we credit our success and longevity to, is building relationships.
That's what it's all about. And when we were talking earlier, you mentioned, and I think this is really important too, that so many retailers, especially after the pandemic, they're only doing Zoom meetings or virtual meetings in their office instead of office visits. But here is one of the only places you can see them in person.
We just basically got tired of Zoom calls and team calls. We just didn't find them to be as productive. There's too many distractions, dogs barking and babies crying and things like that. And we just like to be in front of the customers, and we reached a company decision that we were just not going to do virtual calls. And if it meant giving up an opportunity to meet with a retailer, we'll see you at a later date.
And here you get to see them all face to face.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just so enjoyable, and you're sitting in a session for 20 minutes, and you're talking, but the real value is sitting outside in beautiful Arizona under a desert night and just chit-chatting or playing poker with them or whatever. So it's the relationships that you build sitting having lunch with them or at a cocktail reception that you can't accomplish anywhere else.
Yep.
And the format of the shows, and this is why I've always been sold on ECRM, is committed appointments. Instead of going to a traditional trade show and having a booth and waiting or hoping that somebody's going to come by to visit you, and that just doesn't fare well, because people will tell you, I'm sorry, I got delayed at the other side of the convention center, sorry we missed our meeting. So it's always nice when you get the knock on the door, 20 minutes, and it's another retailer sitting there, waiting to speak with you. And it's just much more productive in terms of the selling experience. I mean, I got to tell you, you guys run the best program in the industry in terms of, face-to-face, buyers and sellers.
And then things happen. You end up in a conversation with a group of people, and something comes up from there that nobody expected. Or maybe you meet somebody in a channel that you didn't expect would be an opportunity, or there's always some serendipitous thing that happens at these sessions that you just end up benefiting people.
Well, it's like as we were walking into this session here, we had met with a retailer a little bit earlier out in California, and very interested in our products. And he currently utilizes some distributors that we don't work with. And he says, who could you recommend? And we recommended another distributor, and we just ran into him. And I said, I've got a new customer for you. He wants to buy our products. So, and he was grateful and appreciative. And I spend my days doing this. I feel like I spend more time networking than I do selling at this point. It's a numbers game. The more people you meet, the more opportunities will become available to you, ultimately leading into more sales and more revenue for your company and certainly yourself.
Yep. Well, that's why I'm here, and I love it, and it's a lot of fun for me, and then hanging with people like you. So
thank you, Joe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.